For Mike Rizzo, what's the biggest concern right now with the team?
Just, getting prepared for opening day. We always like to the big trick here is to get the players ready, get them the needle moving north, but don't waste too many hits, too many homers, too much good play. Just get them prepared physically to play the long grinding season that's ahead of us, and to be prepared mentally and physically to take the grind. So. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot right now. We feel really good about the team and about the players, and we've made some changes late in the off season. Early spring training, we've brought in two dynamic players in Blanton and Weeder. So we're still trying to get a feel for each other and get the synergy of the lineup, and the pitchers are throwing to Matt Weeders, and so we're trying to kind of clean all that up and make a last couple of roster spots in the bullpen, the bench, and some of those decisions we have to make. But we really like where we're at right now. It's a good group of guys. They're very, very tight, very, very close, probably as close as we've ever had here as far as what we're doing in the clubhouse. And we're looking forward to good things. And like you said, on paper, we've got ourselves a really good team. When the bell rings, you throw the paper out the window, and you have to perform and play and stay healthy. That's a skill nowadays, is to stay healthy and stay on the field and keep your name in the lineup is part of it. And we're working hard to that end.
Joined by Mike Rizzo, general manager of the Washington Nationals. Time for the Burke and Herbert Bank Fan Question of the Week. Bryce is on fire this spring, 8 homers so far. Do you put any stock into the spring training stats? That's from Adam in Arlington.
I do not. I don't put any stock into the stats, just because, unfortunately for Harp, when opening day he's got 0, 0, 0s like everybody else. And I remember one year Mike Morris hit like 16 or 17 home runs in spring training, and he was kind of happy he was playing so well, but kind of bummed that he wasted a few bullets. So I really don't put a lot of stock into it, just because early in spring training, guys are, pitchers getting their work in. They don't really care about what they're giving up run wise. A lot of times you're hitting against guys with number 96 on their back and no name on their jersey. So those numbers are very, very deceiving. What I like to see is how players are swinging, how they're moving. What's their energy level? What's level, and I really like where Harp is at. He came into spring training, as big and strong and physical as I've ever seen him. He's got a good base under himself offensively. He's working really hard defensively, and so we like where he's at right now.
Mike, I'm betting you were really surprised that Max Scherzer took all of 25 seconds to sit down Tim Tebow in one of his at-bats when he threw 96, 97, and 97 at him, and then he was back in the dugout in under 30 seconds. I bet you were stunned.
Well, Scherzer did it to about 260 major league hitters last season. So that's a tough. There's a few players often see Max Scherzer's name and come up with a pulled hammy too, and don't play at all. So we expect those things from Max. He likes to go out, and certainly was going to give Tim his all and his best stuff and his best bullets, and he struck out 7 players in that short stint that he had, and he's in a good place right now. The finger feels good. He's this kid is as much as a warrior as I've ever been around. He had this thing working, the finger working for about the last 2.5 months of the season. You didn't hear a peep out of him. Good starts, bad starts. He never let on that there was anything wrong to the media and to the public. We knew about it. We tried to maintain it as well as we could, and but he battled. Let's face it, he battled through it and pitched extremely well with an injury that a lot of other players may have backed off and shut it down.
Was there a change in approach at all for this season with Strasburg? I know that he's going to be pitching from the stretch, I guess. Tell us about kind of the approach to this season and trying to keep him healthy.
Well, he had a full off season of preparing for the spring training season. So he wasn't in rehab mode, which is always good. A lot of players are spending their time in the off season rehabbing instead of preparing for spring training. So he had a good preparation. He tweaked his off season preparation a little bit. Did less weight work and did more running work. He ran long distances. Instead of his short burst spurts, and did less weight work. So I think he made an adjustment there. He's trying to adjust his consistency in his mechanics. That's why he's going with the very small windup, or you're going from the stretch to kind of keep his mechanics in sync. And he's throwing the ball extremely well. His velocity is right where he wants it to be. His last outing, he was, pitching at 95, 96, and touching 97s and 98s, which is where he wants to be.